This is Alex Price. My name is Antoinette. It is a couple of minutes past 1 o'clock right now in the studio. We already had the Owl Quickie, and now it's time for Femme Success, where we talk about a lady's life. We talk about the ladies, we talk about women, our work, our money, us being leaders, and also Nigerian economy as it relates to a woman. And this is where we really do have those conversations. And occasionally I do bring some guests to talk to you. And today I do have someone on the show with me today because we're going to be talking about personal branding as an economic tool for professional women, especially in a country like Nigeria where visibility is still something that women really, really need in various aspects of life. My guest today is Miss Joanna Adu. Adu, right? Adu, okay. And she is a public relations consultant with over 14 years of experience. Like, when I was just reading everything she's done, like, you know what? Let me just tell you, because, like, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. Like, she's worked in so many key sectors that has driven Nigeria's economy. I'm talking communications, telecommunication, finance, business, education, entertainment, and she's also active in the NGO space. Oh my God, like she's really incredible. She has a lot of brands, and she runs a fashion brand. Is it fashion or design? Design, right? Okay, and she's going to be talking to us today because she's currently in marketing and communication lead at a company in is it in Lagos?
Fiducia, yes, it's in Lagos.
Okay. And she's going to be talking to us today. It was lovely to have you on the show today. I am so happy. Like, I don't know. Every time I like see an incredible woman, I'm like, yeah, her. Okay. Let's just get into the interview straight up so that we don't like spend too much time having fun by ourselves. So I'm going to go straight to talk about, why personal branding is something that can give economic power to women. There are so many Nigerian women that have been working hard, but it remains a struggle for them to be seen in the spotlight. How does personal branding directly affect income and promotions, especially for women opportunities in Nigeria?
Okay, let me just start by saying thank you very much for this awesome opportunity to speak here at your radio station. Before we dive in, it's also very important for me to explain in layman's terms what personal branding is.
Yeah.
Just in case if one or two people are not familiar with the word personal branding.
Yeah.
When they hear branding, they're thinking out of home, billboards, and the like. So let me just narrow it down. Personal branding is how people perceive your value before you even enter the room. So it's that presence you bring into any space you are in.
So like the presence when you walked into the studio today, right?
Well, yeah. So let me talk about professional women. So for professional women, it's not about being loud or being flashy at work. It's about you being intentionally visible in your conduct, in your approach to work, and not just about all the things that you stated on your CVs that you can do. Are you actually doing them? Can you actually do all those things? So for me, that's what personal branding is. Now, to answer your question, I would say that when your personal brand is clear, people pay you more attention easily, as opposed to when they're struggling to understand, are you this, are you that? So let me narrow it down. So for example, someone like me, I always like to introduce myself as a woman of different parts. So professionally, I'm a PR consultant, marketing and communications consultant, corporate communications, think Jonah. On the other hand, I'm also an entrepreneur, and this I've been doing for 10 years. I didn't realize that a whole decade has gone by, me doing entrepreneurship. And you might be wondering, so what exactly does this woman do? So I make fashion pieces and accessories using Ashoki.
Yeah.
And I've been able to weave that to my corporate life, in the sense that when I'm going to work, you will see me with maybe my laptop bag is, branded Ashoki, because that's what I do. I make fashion pieces and accessories using Ashoki. So it's when you come into the room, do people turn? Do people notice your presence? What's that unique thing about you that when you're there, they're like, okay, she's here. But if you're not there, do they actually miss your presence? So it's just different things all woven together, but essentially, all I'm saying is, as a woman, every space you're in, be it a professional space, be it in the business space, what are you known for? Are you selling? Are you a woman that sells maybe pap? How do you announce your presence when you are in a room? Are you a woman that sells maybe beads? Do people really know? Do people struggle to understand what it is that you're doing without you having to open your mouth. Like you mentioned, when I walked into this room and you saw the way I looked, automatically you knew what that represented, right? I was
Yeah.
wearing something that was, with, Ashoke, and that's just for me, my personal
Yeah.
branding.
I have to say, for someone who is also multi-passionate, right? When you were just explaining the things that you do professionally and entrepreneurship and all of that, and based on the fact that I've read your profile, I think you have been able to encapsulate all various parts of yourself and then like put them together in a way that makes sense. And a lot of multi-passionate women, like, they struggle with this so much, they feel like they have to pick one and abandon the rest of it. But you're now like a living example of, yeah, I can actually do all of it and I can win. And
Yes.
I'm really, really happy that I got to see that today. In the current economy right now, there's some women who see personal branding as bragging. Like, I know of some people who be like, I'm never gonna go on LinkedIn. People go there and then they write all of these things and they brag, and I don't know how to do it. So how do you think women today can reframe communication to not just be self-promotion alone?
Okay, so I've seen different women that have gotten opportunities as a result of how people perceive them. For example, if you think of a woman I respect so much in the beauty space who has paved the way for many beauty entrepreneurs in Nigeria, Tara Feladrote. When you think about beauty, when you think about someone who started something that was never existing, which is, making beauty products here in a Nigerian, owned beauty line, right? That's her. So if she's talking about things on LinkedIn, is she going there to just brag? No, she's an institution in that regard. So I feel like if you don't tell your story, people will tell it for you in a way that might not represent you. So personal branding is you owning your story. This is me. Look at Mrs. Awoshika too, for example, right? When you think about her, you think about a woman who has been in business and has done things that even, not in any way trying to downplay the opposite sex, right? But she's really done a whole lot.
This is for ladies.
Yes,
she's
successful, and she started the business even before she got married, and that's over 30 years ago, right? So my point is, the reason why we can refer to those women now as role models, quote and unquote, is because they told their story the way they wanted to be known. So if you don't tell people what it is that you're doing, how you're doing it, using different social media platforms, then you will not be visible, because visibility too also automatically means branding. So if you're saying you have a personal brand, but people go online, they can't find you, then you've not done yourself any good.
Yeah.
So my point is, in as much as people misuse, I don't think there's any tool that people don't misuse, right?
Yeah.
But as long as you're using it in the right way, using the right channels that you need to use to promote your personal brand, then you would attract the right kind of audience.
Okay, let's talk about mistakes now. What do you think is that thing that Nigerian women should be doing personal branding wise that they're not doing right now?
So I would not say Nigerian women are not doing things right. I would just say maybe the younger generation that are looking forward to becoming, e.g. a Mrs. Awoshika or like a Tara Feladrote. What should you be doing that maybe you did not know you're supposed to do? So I would just advise you, number one, you have to have a clear cut out vision for your life. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? So how do you walk through? So what do you need to be doing now? Are there mentorship programs? Are there personal trainings that you need to do? Personal etiquette? Because there are things that if you do not even know how to, if they open up rooms or opportunities for you, do you even have the etiquette to manage those opportunities? You need to undergo training. You need to be mentored. And mentorship does not mean you have to go and meet the person and say, oh, I want you to be your mentor.
Yeah.
How are you observing them from afar? Have you bought their books? Have you attended their courses?
Do you even read?
Exactly. Do you even read to get enlightened? Because these
Yeah.
things don't just fall on you. You have to be deliberate about it. Intentionality is the word I would say. You can't just have wishful thinking. So it's okay, the next 5 years, I want to be this, I want to be that. But what exactly are you doing? Just like the way you go to school and you want to become a doctor, right? You can't just be handed over, the knife to operate somebody if you've not been licensed. So think of it as that too as well. So I want to be a professional, I want to be an entrepreneur. But what skills am I ready to undergo in sense of trainings, maybe there are capacity gaps that you do not have? Are there people you are mirroring that embody this kind of things that we're talking about? And how well have you mirrored them and put it to use? Not just mirroring them, but have you actually started practicing those things? Because sometimes you make mistakes, but you pick yourself up and see various ways why you should not be doing it that way. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
IO 95.9.
Now I want to talk about how it can look like in the workplace, and of course how we can turn it into economic opportunities for ladies. For women who are working in a male-dominated industries, Joanne, how can personal branding help them command respect and authority in the workplace?
So first off is you have to know you're tough as a woman. You have to be grounded. You have to be skilled, highly skilled. So take, for example, I'll use myself as an example, right? I work in a fintech company called Fiducia, where we provide supply chain financing to corporates, to businesses who want their invoices discounted, right? So what I do at work is I always come correct. For everything that I know that is a KPI for me, I would always deliver on it. So the question is, how do you stand out in your conduct at work? How are they always following up on you when you have maybe their deadlines? Maybe there's a proposal you're supposed to send, you're supposed to close out a deal with a customer, or you're supposed to submit a pitch, for example. Are you the one that they're always following up on? So I don't think, for me, it's not even necessarily if you are a male or a female. As an individual, you must come correct in the sense that at place of work, before you command respect and people would actually take you seriously, they need to see that you actually do take your work seriously. You know what it is that you are doing. You are highly skilled. And there's sometimes some individuals would want their organizations to be the one always training them, or they've not trained me on this, so therefore I don't know this. You're doing yourself a disservice. That's
There's
what I would
some
say.
things you just have to do yourself,
Honestly,
right?
because when you know it, you know it. For example, I'm not sure I had added this to my profile. I had a brief stint in radio.
You
So I
did
did-
not add that. You did
So
not.
my NYSC, I was in radio for
Wow.
in fact, for 2 years.
No wonder when I asked you if you had and you were like, yeah.
So yeah.
Wow,
So I did
wow.
Radio Nigeria.
Whoa.
Yes,
that's
I did, and I had a
incredible.
program on radio. And prior to this, trust me, I had no clue as to how radio worked. But I was very, very inclined to learning. So what I would do is after work, then I was a youth corps member. So I would observe the studio producers. I would observe how my boss is writing. I was just always inquisitive, wanting to know, wanting to do. I don't think as an individual, you need to have something that is always driving you.
Yeah.
You don't want to go into a room and you are the one that they're always complaining about. Oh, you've not done this, you've not done that. And so I'm looking at them, I'm looking at how they are doing things. Guess what? I started producing my own show for someone who had no prior knowledge as to how that worked. So that has been my drive from then. That was NYC days, so many years ago. Let me not mention the years, so I don't look like I'm too old.
I
was
wouldn't see you that way. You look really young to me.
Oh,
So
yeah, so that's what I think. If you can actually apply yourself to your work, everybody would there's nobody that won't take you seriously. If you take yourself seriously and you always come correct, they would always take you seriously.
okay, let's look at the economic aspect, and that involves money.
Okay.
When ladies are talking about having a strong personal brand, right? Most of them want it to translate to money, to opportunities, to raise, and all of that. What do you think this can do for them? Like, how can they personally brand themselves? Do they need to talk to anybody? Do they need to associate with certain people to be able to get those opportunities?
So I would tell women, if you're not a member of WIMBIZ, Women in Business, if you don't know it, please Google it.
I just found out about it right now, and I will.
Oh my goodness. So WIMBIZ is a platform that brings together women.
Yeah.
So be you in the business space, be you in the professional space. So there's this annual conference that WIMBIZ organizes. It's usually around November. I was at the last one. So there are different experts that come in is in the fitness space, health, lifestyle, career. So you have opportunities to even network with people in your field.
Yeah.
So that way you are collaborating, you're making new contacts, new business allies. You're just meeting people that you might not have met in your office or at work or at your business. So I think what I would say is look for opportunities like that. On top of my head, WIMBIZ is number one. There are other women forums too as well, or women conferences that you can attend. You can network. I also recall yesterday I saw on Instagram Mrs. Awoshika, she does this annual conference for women. And this year's edition is happening in Dubai. So if you can, just try as much as possible to be in those spaces so you can network with those kind of women you're looking up to. You can ask questions. You can just learn, relearn, and unlearn.
Okay.
So I would say research to see such opportunities that arise as in line with what goal you're trying to achieve part-time.
Okay, Joanne has said you should do some research. You can figure out where you need to be in your own field. If you have any personal questions for Joanne, our WhatsApp messages are open. You can send a message right now to 0912 915 6561. 0912 915 6561. Joanne will be here to answer your questions. But I do have a question for Joanne though.
Okay.
What role do you think social media can play for economic opportunities in women? And I'm talking maybe platforms like LinkedIn, X, even Instagram.
Okay, so I think that any forward-thinking woman will want to harness the opportunities that social media has presented itself with. So for LinkedIn, I would say, or let me just talk about generally about social media. You need to understand the different purposes of each of the social media platforms that we have. So if you're thinking LinkedIn, you're thinking thought leadership, you're thinking more serious conversations. So if you want to collaborate, if you want to network with maybe CEOs or corporates, right? That's the kind of platform you should find yourself in. And you can also take it a step further to writing articles about your field or about your business, just to enlighten people. That way, something they look forward to. And if you're someone in the maybe food space or fashion space, think Instagram, think TikTok, that can be used to showcase your products, your services, using videos, using pictures that appeal to your target audience. Then if you're a daring Nigerian, then you can take it a step further to go to X. If you're a daring-
What? That is my home. That is my home.
Well, if it works
I
for
use
you,
X a whole lot.
if it works for you, then just stick to it. Then there's Facebook also. There's Facebook Marketplace too as well.
That's the one I've been running away from.
People make money there on
Yeah,
a
I know
daily
they
basis,
do.
and there are different groups. Well, Facebook is not my number one platform. I have it, I use it, but it's not my number one platform because for me it just really gets me overwhelmed.
So which is
But
your
my
number one
comfort
platform?
zone is LinkedIn.
Aw.
And then Instagram, obviously, because of my businesses.
Yeah. Instagram is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like when I first heard about you from a friend, the first thing I did was to check your Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I saw it and I was like, yes, this is what I want.
Oh,
But
wow.
like you've been able to successfully brand yourself even in a platform that people will probably think it's a joke. Like I know a lot of people who do not post on their Instagram. They'll probably post maybe like only on their birthdays or something like that. And I feel like they really do need to learn from you. So can you share an example of maybe a Nigerian woman who has been able to improve her visibility so much that it's now having economic impact in the country?
So I would say there are two people that come to mind, top of mind. I would say Vicky James.
Okay.
I would say Prudent. I would say Vicky James because we've seen how she's been able to express multifacetedness, if there's any word like that, right?
Yeah.
How dynamic she can be. First off, we knew Vicky as fashion entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Now we are seeing Vicky as a food enthusiast, doing different meals showing us different meals she prepares for her husband. We're seeing her as she also launched a business recently for a gifting business. You can curate gift items from Fairy Tales, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's a business between her and her husband. So I think for me is you just understanding that if these people can do it, And it's not like where they came from, they had humble backgrounds, right? But they knew that for you to work yourself way up there are deliberate measures, deliberate things that you need to do. So I would say Vicky James, because I can relate with her story, because I am also in that space too as well. I mean, the fashion aspect, but she's been able to show us that these things are possible. So why can't you be the next Vicky James? What is holding you back? And if you don't know how this platform works, or how to maybe how to post, there are social media managers that can help you. So you don't have to overwhelm. Like now, there are just so many things that this our generation we've been blessed with. There's also AI too as well. There's ChatGPT. There's different AI platforms that you can use. Okay, what should I be posting? When should I post it? Can you help me create caption or flyers? They're just tools that have really made things easy for us. So my question to whoever it is that is concerned is, how well are you harnessing those opportunities that are out there? Because social media is now cheap. Almost everybody has a smartphone, right? So what are you doing with it? Are you using it to make money, or are you using it to just catch cruise online?
Oh my God. One of my favorite things that I see, especially on Twitter, that whenever somebody makes a really silly post, nobody's going to start dragging the person to be like, oh, this is this. Someone would just post maybe the link to an online course and be like, instead of making this useless joke, how about you go help your
Right.
That's my favorite thing, and I absolutely love that right now.
IO 95.9.
And I want to talk practical strategies. Ladies who've been listening, they're going to need something that they can write down and be like, yeah, this is what I need to do. I mean, you said a whole lot of things, but what do you think are the low-cost personal branding steps that Nigerian women can put into practice starting today?
So I would say it's how you look.
Okay.
There's a popular saying, dress the way you want to be addressed, right? So if you want people to take you seriously, then dress the part. And you don't need to break your bank to look good. Just make sure you look good, you smell well. Very important. So when you're talking to
that
people,
announces your presence.
Exactly. You don't want people to start,
yeah,
running when you're speaking. So dress well, speak well, be articulate, and I don't mean add phonetics.
Just be
so
clear.
Be clear in your ask. Train yourself on little things like, how do I eat in a dinner setting? Some people don't know how to do all those things.
Like how to use cutleries and stuff?
Exactly.
Oh my God. I had to learn that when I was younger. And I was so angry because I was like, what am I, white woman? But then when I went to boarding school for a year, I saw everybody was like, oh.
Now you see, you'll be surprised that there's little things. Some people don't know it. And it goes a long way because people are watching you. They're watching how you talk, how you speak, how you eat. If you go out, if you're out in a public gathering, maybe like a conference, or let me say a closed door dinner with high net worth individuals, and you're just grabbing everything on display, they will look at you like someone who is,
did this person eat before coming?
Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So those little things, little details about your life, right? How do you want people to perceive you? Do you want them to take you seriously? Do you want them to see you as someone who is an institution in your field? So what that means is always upgrade yourself skill-wise. Go for trainings. There's some trainings that are even free on Coursera. Do you get what I mean? There's some even very affordable trainings that you can undertake. Just Google is your friend. Go on YouTube too as well. There a plethora of information out there on your field or whatever thing it is that you want to be better at. So whilst you're trying to get to where you are going, where you are right now, which is why I said the first time, is have a plan. What's your plan in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
Then work it backwards. Okay, so what can I achieve in 6 months? What can I achieve in 1 year in terms of upskilling myself, trainings and all of that? These things are very important. If they realize like you're someone who should command some respect, in the sense that you come correct when you're called up for conversation. It could even be within your team members too as well, and they're asking, what do you think about this? Don't always be the one who doesn't know anything about anything. Do you get what I mean? Just do research, just be intentional. Before you go up for that meeting, have you actually researched what it is that is going to be discussed, even though you might say it's not, the buck doesn't stop on my table. But the fact that you are going to be a part of that meeting, at least contribute, be deliberate, don't be laid back. There's some people that are just comfortable letting other people do the work. Then you see that the other people that you're letting do the work, they will be getting acknowledged.
Yeah,
they'll be getting all the accolades. So a woman who wants to have a personal brand, you must be deliberate. I've said upskill, I've said trainings, I've also said the power of social media as well to ensure that you're telling your story the way you want people to know you as, the way you want to perceive people as. I always tell my colleagues and my friends that I'm not necessarily a social media person, quote and unquote. Like, it's me coming out of my comfort zone to deliberately post or take pictures or create video content. Do you get what I mean? Like,
that taking pictures, I still struggle with it.
What
myself,
I mean? Like, it comes to some people naturally, but because I know where I'm going, do you understand what I mean? And I need to tell my stories. Okay, this is what I've done. This is what I'm doing. Then how else am I going to do that? So I had to learn. I had to undergo training, digital marketing training. I had to understand how these various platforms work and now pick the one, which is why I said number one would be for me, LinkedIn, because I'm more of someone who likes to write. I can just be lost in thoughts and, I'm writing. That's how I share. That's how I onboarding if I'm overwhelmed for me. So writing. So LinkedIn is my comfort zone because I could decide to post a picture. I could decide not to post a picture. LinkedIn doesn't limit you.
It does not.
It doesn't limit you. However, if you post a picture, it makes your posts on LinkedIn more,
get more engaged.
Get more engaged. More people get to see you too as well.
Yeah.
So those are the key things I think we need to do better as women.
Thank you so much. Before we wrap up Femme Success today, I want to talk crisis management, because sometimes women could be in the middle of a conflict, or they could have layoffs, or maybe they post something and then they face online backlash from the things that they post. How can women be able to protect this brand that they're building in such a situation?
Have a PR team.
But what if they can't afford one?
I'm telling you, like, the thing is, would you now, so when the backlash now starts and you need to do damage control, would you or would you not pay for certain things?
Okay, that makes sense.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So why not avoid it by having, at least, it doesn't have to be a retainer. It could be on a need basis. It could be on a project basis, or it could be on a quarterly basis. Just have those things. It will save you. It will save you. So you even understand the kind of things that you should post, because the professional is enlightening you. Or this kind of content, if you're posting this is the kind of engagement that you would get. This kind of reaction that you would get. But some people don't know this thing. They just go all out and just do. And then when you now start getting the results from you just doing, because you're not aware as to certain communication do's and don'ts, you have to now pay for those. That's why sometimes I tell people that I'm very, very happy when people fall into crisis, because that's my forte. Crisis management. Because that is what you did not want to do before. It's for you to have a plan, a crisis management. You will now come to us as consultants and you will pay heavily for it. So I'm always very, very happy. So why not? Well, I'm just being biased here, but you get my point.
So
my
prevention
point
is better than cure, right?
Prevention. So before because they will charge you an harm and the fruits, and you have to pay depending on the scope of what the crisis is about. But avoid it. Speak to a professional. You're starting a business. Oh, what do you think I need to? How should I sound like? Because there's a way you need to sound like that would align with your business value. There's branding, color. What kind of colors should I use? Because colors evoke emotions.
Yes, that's
what
true.
Kind of things should I do? Just little details that you just think it doesn't matter. It really does matter.
Okay, thank you so much, Joan. It has been a pleasure to have you on the show today. You have blessed so many ladies who are listening to you right now, and I am so happy to have you on the show. Hopefully, I can bring you back some other time and you can have more conversations.
IO 95.9.